Hello and welcome to the Next ReeVlog. I have reorganised my room a little bit. There was a bed in front of the window. It's now there. Kind of makes a double bed. There are different levels, and this one on the left has a lot of stuff on it, and it's going to remain that way. I'm only going to sleep on the one. However, I figured having the extra space over there would be nice, so that I can move around more and just have more space. I feel as though it will benefit me, probably more so mentally than it will actually be practical, but practical benefits come in physical and mental methods, so yay. Also, it means I can set up this. Isn't that good? Yeah, so whilst I now can no longer open this, but it's just full of a bunch of my old books and ties, but I think it has a bag of pens and pencils and such as well. It's okay, I've got plenty of other pens and pencils and stuff. And it means I've had to move my bin over there, even though I sleep over there. It's mostly alright. Beneficial, I would like to think. But I've got a lot of stuff to do today, none of it related to YouTube. Though I need to check and see how well the uploading is going, because my laptop has been uploading for about probably 30 hours or so now. Something like that. It's been uploading videos because I set 11 to upload. I know it finished one of them yesterday. I've checked YouTube Studio, the creators app, and discovered that yes, indeed, it's been good, useful. But there's 2 left, I think. I need to check on how far they're gone along, because I can't use my laptop till then, and my laptop's been, not my laptop, my keyboard's been spazzing out a bit for my actual computer. But, fingers crossed, it will be close to done. I can then do some stuff this morning, like, I don't know, rehydrate. I'm feeling a little bit dehydrated, so have yourself a water. It's good for you. I can look for my scissors. They've gone missing. I'm not sure how, but they have. It might be they haven't gone missing and they're just at my house, but I won't find that out until Friday evening. I also found this whilst I was moving the room around because it was under one of the beds and I hadn't realised. I thought I'd checked under there, but apparently not. I also found my police baton. Well, I say police baton, it's just a telescopic baton. It's not actually from the police or anything, as far as I'm aware anyway. And that now lives in the safe, which is underneath the fan, which the phone that I'm recording this is resting upon. But yeah, yesterday I had a chat with myself. Not so much an actual chat, I just had one hell of a think, which is rare because usually they are actually chats with myself. I just went for a walk. I got halfway focus. I got halfway around my usual walking thing whilst I live here, which is, I don't know, not that far, but relatively far. I could definitely walk further, but it's, usually a pretty good walk. It'll do this. I didn't do it yesterday because it's technically slightly under half. It was the shorter half, if that makes sense. Like, there's a midway point that isn't actually the middle distance of the walk, it's sort of a landmark. I got there and there's a couple benches. I sat down, had some tea, I got on my flask. I drank a fair bit of tea and I was like, why do I feel like I'm not making any progress in life? And so I figured, have a think. Well, I'm making a lot of progress towards uni stuff. I've been on it with my coursework recently, which is good. Revision slightly less, but that's fine. I've been practicing Kung Fu a reasonable amount, but I haven't been making much progress. And I was like, well, you want to eventually get into instructing, which means you need a black belt. And you want to do that as soon as possible, because I was thinking, like, kids are really a pain, and the education system is far worse. So I was like, okay, I've got the option to go into teaching, which, I would very happily do, but I would prefer to skip the teaching and go straight into instructing. I feel like the teaching experience may help with the instructing, maybe, but I don't have long left. University for me originally was a dream. It was when I was 7 years old, I decided I'm going to university because I was thinking of all the fantasy books and how universities were so cool and they studied to learn. And everyone wanted knowledge and to self-improve, and you get communities that weren't just all dicks, and you'd get, what's it called? Personal progress, but it's less like bureaucracy. And the library, the libraries. In my mind, they were so beautiful, so organised. No. They're alright. They're good libraries, but they're nothing compared to the image that I've had in my head my entire life. And it's the same shit as school, really. Just you get the option to not attend and still pass, as opposed to being forced to attend and passing worse. Because you don't need to attend everything. Attending some stuff, definitely a good idea. Attending most of your stuff, probably not a bad plan. Attending everything, overrated. I did it in my foundation year, and it wasn't worth it. So there's a few things that I haven't attended. Those of you who are attentive would know it's quite a lot of things, but yeah. So it's disappointed me, and I don't have the funds to do a master's and a doctorate. I think I'd like to, because I think a PhD would suit me better, but I'm also aware, in the past, I thought, pre-GCSEs, I was like, oh yeah, I get to choose, I get to specialise into 4 subjects, be great. No. So I was like, yeah, I've still got to do these ones though, these core subjects that are totally useful. So I was like, okay then, A-levels, that'll be fine, I get to specialise into just the subjects I want to do. There may be more of them than I'd like, but I get to drop more subjects. Good. Jolly good. So I ended up starting doing 6, which I cut down to 5. Because I had philosophy, religious studies, because they came together but were separate. Drama and theatre studies, they were the same, they were different but count as one. I had English literature, creative writing, and history. I dropped history, so I still had these ones. And I was like, it's better, but I want to focus on these specific things rather than being forced to do this whole curriculum nonsense. And then I was told university would be like that. You get to pick your modules. So I got to university, and I was like, well, I'm doing a foundation year. Okay, I can handle this. I understand it's a foundation year. You've got to do what they say. Just on the dot. Don't get to pick, really. So that's fine. I picked 1 essay title, I think, throughout that whole year. I liked the essay title. It was good fun. It was on Dark Souls. But I was like, okay, next year. First year. Actual university. Get to do what I want. No, you don't. I didn't. Had to do the modules they said. I got to pick some out of a list. And I didn't like the list. Same thing this year. Next year, I get to do a dissertation, provided I get at least 60% this year. However, the dissertation heading had to be agreed upon. The dissertation has to be like 10,000 words. The dissertation has to fit all of their criteria, get get marked. I understand why it has to get marked, because, you know, you need to be marked in order to get degrees, because that's how the world is. And you go to university, you do it for the degree, because capitalism, rather than going to university for the learning and improvement and socializing. Not that I do much of the socializing, and not that they do much of the learning. Like, there's plenty of things to learn, very few practical things to learn. Unless you do a science, I suppose, but I'm just doing a humanities round right now. Yeah, and so I realised teaching philosophy, it'd be great, but I don't want to have to do it in the like national curriculum education system sort of way. And right now, I can't structure enough time into my life in order to either do it online or just like teach classes to adults in a community centre or anything like that, which I think would be great. Sorry, my hair's kind of weird today. I don't really like it. That's why I'm playing around with it so much. But yeah, I've got that as a plan one day to do, is just teach people. But I hate the national curriculum, standardized testing, brainwashing in order to be a better worker bee education that we have. And I know a lot of people don't agree that it is like that. And I don't have enough evidence to say conclusively that it is. But I honestly believe it is, hence why I'm doing my dissertation on whether philosophy should become a mandatory subject, because that's the closest thing I can probably do to, I mean, I probably would have managed to throw in an ethics thing of whether education should be actual education and whatnot, but that'd be way harder to do, especially as a dissertation. That is definitely more of a PhD topic, because 10,000 words on that, not enough. Definitely not enough after all the research I'd have to do, and I don't have enough time. That'd be like a multiple year sort of thing. Can't do it. But, you know, whatever. So I want to get on with Kung Fu as quickly as I can. Because if I can instruct Kung Fu, I don't want to do that full time. I want to instruct martial arts full time. But I need to learn the Kung Fu first. Then maybe go off and instruct somewhere else. Part time. While I learn another martial art. When I've got that one, I can instruct both part-time. Learn another one. And another one. I want to know sort of 3 to 5 martial arts. Eventually, I would like to say by the time I'm 30, but it's not going to happen. My current age, I think, is when my instructor got his black belt. He's been a black belt for a while, and the highest he's ever trained anyone to is the belt I am currently on. Not the belt I'm going towards, but the belt I currently have. The next belt I get will make me the highest belt he's ever trained to, which means my progression's probably going to be a bit slower, especially because everyone, other than one other person in the class, is the same grade, which is 2 grades lower than me. No, sorry, 3 grades lower than me. The other person is 1 grade below me, but they get away with a lot of stuff that I really think they shouldn't. Their technical work is really bad in comparison to, well, most of the people there. They know the technical stuff, they just don't do it, as far as I'm concerned. Just like they also know when Colin says, sorry, that's my instructor's name, when Colin says, do this, palm, cover, back fist, palm, cover, back fist. Do that, and then do that 1 for 1. You meant to do that until he tells you to do something else. It may not be the most useful thing for us to train all the time. However, undermining that undermines the whole teaching structure. And I'm not okay with that. So, yeah. But now I technically know everything on my grade, I can practice it all. And I know that my general fitness is what will be holding me back in the future. Especially because whilst I'm actually at Kung Fu, it's making me perform worse than other people are. And so I need to really work on improving it. Thankfully, my brother's a personal trainer, so I'm going to get him to make a thing for me, like just a little card saying exercises and stretches and whatnot that I can do to help. Because there are some obvious ones I can do, just like strengthening exercises, and he's taught me some. I say taught. He went through with me some hip mobility flexors, which I really need to do. Flexors, stretches. Yeah, but I need to work on my general strength, endurance slash stamina for breathing and whatnot. I might need to take up swimming if I can over summer. Doubt it's going to happen. Want to get back into my skipping, but it's a daunting task starting that again, especially because back when I got alright at it, where I could skip up to about AE, take a very short break, and do it again. That was a time when I had instant rewards for it because I knew some people and I was like, yo, I'm gonna go do some skipping. When I've done the skipping, like, we can arrange this thing for awards. I'm not gonna say what it was, don't worry, it's not illegal, but it was like a personal thing between the two of us. And don't worry, it's not like that either. Dirty. Um, but yeah, it was nice. And don't have that anymore. And I'm the sort of person who needs like reinforcement upon what I do nearly immediately. I try and arrange it for myself as best as I can, because I know that I don't want to get other people involved in what I do really. But it's like exercising. I've always been like, yeah, I'll do more of that. And then when I first started, it was like, okay, yeah, I'll go for this jog. And I went jogging for a couple hours, and then I would undo any good that I did myself by drinking like a liter of milk and eating some chocolate on the way back. Oh, I was a right idiot. But hey, I didn't know the science behind things then. Now I'm trying to be better. It's hard while I live here because there's food everywhere, and my nan and granddad were always like, "Oh, you're not gonna have any dessert? I've made this for you. Here, eat these. Do you want a cup of tea? We've got plenty." The cup of tea thing I do anyway, but they have milk here like all the time. Whereas mine, if I run out of milk, rather than go up the shop, I'll probably just have a black tea. Um, yeah, so that's hard, but I also need to get the exercise in. Kung Fu's on my to-do list today, so that should hopefully help. But I did a few hours yesterday, did some archery as well. Weak bow. I'm gonna probably try my other bow at some point today. Maybe not today actually. There's workmen up there, but you know, at some point in the near future, I want to try my stronger bow again because I'm not sure if my elbow can really handle it. But if I very slowly and gently pull back, I can see whether my elbow can handle it. If I start to feel any real strain, I can just slowly release. Done. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna go. This is like 20 minutes long. But long and short of it is, I need to get better at martial arts, and I need to do it as soon as possible. My instructor said like end of this year he might have available another session a week, which would be useful, but only if I go through my stuff, which we rarely do. We go through a lot of the other stuff. I don't begrudge him that. Like, he's got to go through everyone else's stuff as well. There's only one of me, and there's like 5 of those. But there's also one of the person below me, and and they go through his stuff a lot more. I think it's because my instructor wants him to catch up. But whatever. This isn't your problem. But regardless, I'll catch you cats on the flip flop. Goodbye.